Greetings from the Fredericktown homestead. We are smoking, and by doing so, we're creating as much creosote as we can, because the creosote formed by corn is what flavors the meat. And here you can see the creosote leaking out of the stove. Isn't that something? These Yodels are, Yodel is the brand of the stove, and it's also the kind. It's kind of like saying Kleenex. Yodels are airtight parlor stoves that give a minimal amount of heat and a maximum amount of creosote. It's always suggested that you clean your chimney often when you're running a Yodel, because the way they work is they have an airtight door with a vent in it that we have completely shut right now, and that way you're just kind of smoldering the fuel, and the maximum amount of distillate comes out of the fuel, and we have quite a bit of it coming out of the fuel here by the look of it. That's a good thing. That's all going to be imparted to the meat up there at below 80 degrees. This is cold smoking, not like modern day backyard smokers that you buy at your big box store. This is cold smoke. This is we're making every attempt to make sure that the chamber doesn't go above 80 degrees. It's now at 73, I think I said. I just checked it, and yeah, it's about 73 degrees, and we are bubbling away the creosote. Look at this stuff. It's just it's pushing out here. That's a good thing. That's flavor for bacon and ham and sausage. That's a good thing. Boy, it is just a pushing out of there. So, we are distilling the smoke. When smoke, which is a vapor, an air, a gaseous form, hits a cold surface, the smoke, the vapor in the smoke turns to a liquid, and that liquid is known as creosote. And so what we're trying to do is get it up to convey it through this pipe up to the chamber where the meat is being held in the smoke, and some of that some of the taste of the smoke is imparted to the meat. We've got 70, what do we got? 70 degrees, 71 degrees, is that 69? I gotta get it on Fahrenheit. Okay, there's Fahrenheit, 69 degrees. I don't know if you can see it, I can see it. Hard to tell what you can see in the camera and what you can't with the glare on it. But, so that's pretty cold. We want to warm it up a little bit. So I'm going to add some air. Air will increase the combustion, increase the temperature. A little bit more air. And yeah, that increases the pressure in the pipe. You see it's coming out of the venturi right now. It was sucking in. And more smoke is going up into the chamber. But we can afford to put more smoke up there because our temperature is so low. 69 is pretty low for smoking. Want to keep it in the 70s. 80's too hot. 85 is really too hot. When it gets up to 85 consistently, then that's when you shut down, take your meat out, put it in the refrigerator, and start again tomorrow morning when it's cold. We generally smoked for 3 days in Henniker, New Hampshire, where I lived on the farm of Archie Morris, born in 1896. And he would take it in and put it in his cold room. He had a cold room. His cold room was, I want to say, in the mid 30s, like 35 degrees Fahrenheit. It was cooled by water from the pond running through and cascading down the wall, and that's what cooled the room. The latent heat of evaporation and the convection of cold warmth from the room into the cold water as it went down and drained back out into the pond, into the river. That was the way he cooled his cold room. I didn't completely understand it at the time. I didn't really study it, but I know that's how it worked. He had water continuously running down one wall, and that kept the room cool year round, kept at a consistent temperature. The water would come in from underneath the ice during the winter. In New Hampshire, we get upwards of 3 feet of ice on the ponds, but he had water coming in year round. And I'm not sure if that water came from the spring or from the pond. We had a pond out behind the house, but his cold room was always consistently cold, and that's what he used for his big walk-in refrigerator. The latent heat of evaporation and the convection of heat to cold, cold to heat. We've got more smoke flowing now. I've got the air open. I'm going to end this video to 2 reasons. I've got to go hook up my supplemental battery to continue uploading, and I also want 2 hands free to stoke the stove. Alright, God bless.